This question about negatives, positives and absolute value tells you that x, the absolute value of x times y is smaller than 0. So we know that y must be negative because the absolute value of x is always positive, and times y it must be smaller than 0, so therefore y must be negative. And x can be anything. It can be positive or it can be negative. And then it asks you which of the following options must be positive. Option A tells you x times y, and that can be negative because x can be positive, whereas y is definitely negative. A positive times a negative number is negative. So it's not necessarily positive here. Option B tells you x times the absolute value of y, which can also be negative because if x is negative times the absolute value of y, which is positive, the answer is going to be negative. So it's not B. C tells you minus x minus y. Now whatever x minus y is, the absolute value of that is positive, and then the negative of that is negative. Yeah, because the negative of something which is definitely positive is negative. So it's not C. D tells you the absolute value of y minus x. So the absolute value of y is positive, it's an absolute value, minus x, and x can be positive or it can be negative. If x is positive, there's a minus here. If x is positive, it really depends on the relative sizes of y and x, whether this expression, a positive number minus a positive number, is going to be positive or negative. But it can be negative. If x is relatively large, this is going to be negative. Then the final option is E. It tells you the absolute value of x minus y, which is a positive number, because the absolute value of x is a positive number, minus y, and y is negative, so minus a negative number. And you know that if you subtract a negative number, you actually add the positive equivalent. So it's a positive number plus a positive number, which is definitely positive. So the absolute value of x minus y must be positive, so your answer is E.